Hey guys, it's been a great morning in the triple Qs, and so far the strategy's playing out pretty much exactly the way that it did in the Super Volatility Sunday training you did. So whether you did that live or you did it online or you did the recordings, just go back and look at them because it is exactly what I wanted to focus on there, and it's exactly what happened, right? So that's always exciting when we get these things playing out over time. Let's take a look at the charts, and I'll show you what I've been up to this morning, and you can compare it to what you've been doing, and then see if you can put a game plan together for the afternoon session based on what I'm going to be doing. All right, so let's have a look at the charts. So here we see it. We had, we had a little pop to the upside this morning, followed by this downtrending move. That move lower had me pretty well focused then on, just sort of sticking with this trend and just trying to focus on not trying to catch the inflections. Somebody was just talking to me about, are you looking at the inflections off the bottoms? I have some new tools up here. This is stuff that we added in Miami. So I'm just looking at Wilder's ADX. It's a little bit different than what you're going to see in some other software like TradeStation or Metastock or any of the other software platforms, Thinkorswim that you guys are using. But it's just a little modification of it. You want to get it to look sort of like that if you can. That's a 14 period ADX. So I've got ADX, I've got DI minus and DI plus. And when I'm looking at this, I don't really need to see these levels to see that it's trending lower, right? But it helps sometimes just to keep you focused and to keep you on the right side of these trades. I think that sort of generally speaking, if you can, wrangle yourself in and just say, as long as this thing's been moving sharply lower and I've got a trend line that is up above 30, I'm not going to go and try to fade the market, right? So that's just the gist of why that's there. Over the course of the morning, we were trading in the box, so to speak. One of my favorite things when we get going sideways, and it overlaps with inflections at 2SD. Use 2SD of volatility. You can use Bollinger Bands. You can use anything that gives you a good interpretation of when you're traveling far away from your average price. 2 standard deviations is, of course, how far on average can we expect price to move away from the average. And in this case, if we get up to the top of the box, we are at a 95% confidence interval that we're probably going to have a move back down again. So for most of the morning, this has been the game plan. It's just getting short here at the confluence with the VWAP and staying focused on these moves. When it did get higher, it got up into 372.57, I guess that is. And once again, the objective here, take the short, and focus on the downside. So the rest of the day, this is trading at a pretty geometric progression now. I think everybody can see that we have got the makings of a measured move here, and that it's trading with a geometry that's pretty predictable, and all that stuff spells good trading, right? So I think that for the rest of the day, it's pretty straightforward. If we keep moving lower, we're going to focus on the downside. If we get some sort of a pop way back up into the range that reverses these trend lines here, or these DI plus, DI minus, if that's what you're looking at, then you're going to have a good idea that we're going to focus on the geometric moves higher. But for now, let's just stay focused on the downside and see if we can make something work. All right, so that is going to be everything for me. So I think that we've got a good game plan going forward, and hopefully you guys are profiting today. So it's been great in the triple Q, it's been great in the NQ. NQ, of course, gives you a little bit more leverage, but be careful when you start adding contracts to that and realize that those little wiggles on the triple Qs can turn into some big moves when you're trading the NQ. So NQ is going to be about the equivalent, one contract about the equivalent of 800 shares of the Qs, more or less, and just be prepared for what happens when you're moving 5 or 10 cents in an adverse direction. 800 shares, 1600 shares, right? 2400 shares. I know some of you like to load things up, but just always bear in mind what's going to be that gut check if things start to go not your way. All right, so it's very important to stay focused and stay in your psychological comfort zone when you're trading. Remember that, and I will see everybody later. Have a great trading day.